Democrats and the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
Without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
You and your old mate Joy Behar may have your jobs because of wokeness.
The cackling witch herself, Joy Behar from The View, whose jealousy is something to behold.
She got the job because she was the national spokesman for the campaign, and she did a very good job in that role.
An $800 million lawsuit isn't just a legal threat. It's a reputational bombshell. If true, it could devastate one of the most iconic daytime talk shows in television history. With potential ramifications stretching across ABC, its hosts, and their legacy, this story has shaken both political and entertainment spheres. The lawsuit's rumored scale alone puts it in the ranks of the largest defamation cases in American history. But here's what's wild. There's no official confirmation of a case being filed, yet the internet is treating it like it's already going to trial. Supporters of Karoline Leavitt are pointing fingers at The View, calling out what they claim is blatant sexism and media malpractice. Critics of Leavitt argue it's all a political stunt, smoke, mirrors, and no substance. Still, the question remains, why is Karoline Leavitt so confidently saying too late, the lawsuit stands? Could this all be more than just talk? Or is this a new era of media accountability with political figures striking back in a bold and possibly legal way? Karoline Leavitt is no stranger to controversy. As the youngest national press secretary in U.S. history and a prominent MAGA figure, she's carved out a bold, no-nonsense reputation. A communications powerhouse in Trump's orbit, she knows how to shape a narrative. And this time, she might be using that skill to shake up the mainstream media itself. It all started with a moment on The View, where co-host Joy Behar allegedly commented on Leavitt's appearance, suggesting that she was only chosen for her role because, quote, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
That line, whether meant as a joke or a jab, didn't land well. Conservatives called it a sexist smear, and what followed was a media storm of speculation. In the days after, rumors exploded online. Karoline Leavitt was suing The View for defamation, to the tune of $800 million. But here's the kicker, there's no official court filing yet. So is this a real legal battle brewing, or just political theater on a national stage?
Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
At the center of this controversy is a key tension: freedom of speech versus character defamation. Public figures are often targets for harsh commentary. But where is the line between opinion and libel? That's the issue now being examined under a digital microscope, thanks to this Leavitt versus The View firestorm. The alleged remark that Leavitt was hired for her looks struck a nerve, especially in conservative and female-led political circles. The implication was clear: her professional merits were being reduced to her appearance. Critics of Behar and The View say this wasn't just a dig, it was a damaging, sexist narrative peddled on national TV. And if the lawsuit is real, it raises massive stakes, not just for ABC and The View, but for how political figures respond to media narratives. Could this be the moment a politician flips the script, holding mainstream outlets financially accountable for their words?
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
As the story snowballed, multiple blogs and fringe media outlets jumped on it, claiming Leavitt had already filed the lawsuit. Some even reported insider leaks, panicked ABC producers, emergency legal briefings, even fears of canceling The View. But when major outlets were checked for confirmation, radio silence. Reputable sources like Distractify reported that no such lawsuit had been filed. Court records showed no evidence. Legal analysts chimed in to say that while a case could exist in the background, nothing formal had been made public. In today's internet echo chamber, that didn't matter, because the story had already gone viral. Despite the lack of confirmation, Karoline Leavitt didn't deny it. When asked point blank about the legal rumor, she responded with a cryptic but powerful statement: too late. The lawsuit stands. Was it confirmation, a media strategy, or a warning shot?
I would like to young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
That single quote, too late, the lawsuit stands, became the rallying cry for her base. Whether or not court filings exist, Leavitt made it clear she's not backing down. In her eyes, The View crossed a line, and now there are consequences. Whether legal, political, or reputational. That confidence sparked a new wave of commentary. Supporters praised her as a fearless fighter for women in politics, one who refuses to be objectified or silenced. Others say her strategy is brilliant. Even without a courtroom, she's framing herself as the underdog facing off against the media elite. But critics aren't buying it. They argue that unless a lawsuit is actually filed, this is just a media ploy, no different from what politicians on both sides have done before. Still, Leavitt's message has landed. She's here, she's loud, and she's not letting it slide.
Divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world. You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and sex and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
So, where does this leave us? The alleged $800 million lawsuit may not officially exist yet, but Karoline Leavitt's statement, her public stance, and the online wildfire it created prove something else. She's forcing mainstream media to think twice before they speak. If she follows through with legal action, it could reshape the way talk shows engage with political figures, especially women. And if she doesn't, she's already made headlines, built a new chapter in her political persona, and drawn a hard line between herself and legacy media. Whether or not we ever see a courtroom showdown, one thing is undeniable. Karoline Leavitt has used this controversy to plant a flag. She's not backing down, and she's telling the media, in no uncertain terms, their time playing dirty may be up. So now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Karoline Leavitt is seriously suing The View? Or is this all a calculated move in the ongoing culture war between conservatives and legacy media? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a real conversation going. And if this story grabbed your attention, check out our next video and don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a breakdown that goes beyond the headlines.